First of all, I know I'm happy to talk to you, but I'm a little more impressed with Butch right now. He likes me. He's nicer to me than you are, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, man, thanks for having me come down. I'm really excited to be a part of this. You and I, it's funny, you and I have known each other for a little while, but through a lot of other, I don't know, man, through other people. I want to know what got you into SF, and, you know, what that path was for you, man, growing up. I know you're from rural Pennsylvania, and you were a race car driver. How'd you get into this? Army and this?
Well, the Army, you know, always you see a little bit of the commercials, this, that, and the other, and I'm an outdoor kind of guy. Grew up in the hills of Pennsylvania, so we shoot, move, and communicate.
Yeah.
What better place to do it? Young infantryman, kind of bored with the way the infantry life was going. Wanted to get that long tab.
When you went into the Army, was SF the goal? Not really.
Not 100% my goal.
Yeah.
Because I always had that in the back of my head that, man, maybe I couldn't make it.
Right.
So I didn't live by that mindset of, you don't win 100% of the shots if you don't take them.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
And when did you go through the Q course? When did you go through it?
1990, right after the Gulf War, so
me too.
92, 91.
Yeah, dude, me too. That's exactly.
Right after the Gulf War.
I was an infantry guy. It's funny. This is the common stuff. I was an infantry guy in the 82nd. I always knew I wanted to be an SF guy, and then I went to the Q course right after the Gulf War. And then you went to 7th Special Forces Group.
7th Group.
I was in 10th Group, and then we've kind of gone these different paths. And then we did kind of the same job.
Right.
In Special Forces, a lot of guns. What about the racing, man? Was this something else you did?
As a kid, I raced. And the race I'm getting you into, the endurance race, is how I started as a kid. I mean, I started on dirt bikes and ATVs and snowmobiles and anything that had a motor on it you could race. Yeah. I raced, had fun with it. But then we got into these enduro cars, had a good time, and it just grew from there.
Were you able to do this stuff when you were in the Army?
I did for a couple years while I was in, but it was hard.
I was going to say, I can't imagine you having time and the resources to do it.
A couple years before I retired, I got into the dirt late models.
Yeah.
So that was probably 2007, 2006, right before I retired in 2010.
I was about to ask, so you got out in 2010. I just retired literally like a year ago.
So you're a lot older than me, too.
Yeah, I'm a lot older. I'm not as good looking. I know, Mike. Give me the list, you jerk. But so we've lost some good friends. You know, you and I have lost some good friends. A lot.
Way too many.
Way too many. And you know, it beats on us and stuff like that. Let's talk about Racing for Heroes and kind of what your vision was for it. Not just the guys we lost, because it's really it's an emotional thing for me. I saw, you know, I have Tim McGill's bracelet on, and there he is on the car. But tell me about Racing for Heroes, the idea and kind of the work you put into it, and where it is now.
Racing for Heroes originally was, it was just a thought. I just had guys over to the shop.
Yeah.
We'd hang out, race together, and have a good time. I brought Kurt in. Yeah. Got him involved. Had him turning wrenches, and then he wanted his own car. We got him his own car. It wasn't even a nonprofit. We were just doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Just a couple, just a bunch of SF guys, doing what they like.
Yep, and there's other guys. You know, we even had our support guys, mechanics involved, cooks, everything. And what really got me started was I worked for another nonprofit. I was on a board, and there was a young guy that was wounded, and they wouldn't give him the money. He needed like $2 grand to finish up his house, and it was like $2 grand, and they're sitting there with hundreds of thousands of dollars in the budget. And they bottom line told me, we're not going to give that money up for him because he's basically not missing a limb. Or, you know, he's not missing any limbs. We want him more for wheelchair lifts, wheelchair ramps, things like that. Things that they could sell, if you would.
And you could also show that as like a really demonstrable, look at what we did for this guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. So dudes like that, dude, I've seen it. Dudes like that fall through the cracks all the time.
Exactly. So this guy was being medically retired, had crushed hips, while he was overseas, while he was in Germany in a hospital. Water had got in his house, mold all through his floors. So what I did was, I was on that board, actually, a friend of mine went over, another guy, because I was deployed at the time, went over, checked out his floor, and he was legit. The guy had been paying out of his pocket and doing all the carpentry work himself. He asked for $2 grand, so I went and stroked the check out of my personal account and said, here you go.
Man, good for you, bro.
And then I got a carpenter also to go in and help him out. So then I come back, and me and Mike Donatelli are sitting in the shop, and there's a group of veterans around, and we're working, and I was pretty much complaining about this whole nonprofit and the way it was gone.
It ain't working.
Right. I said, this is just stupid the way these nonprofits are, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going on ranting, and Donatelli's like, hey, shut the hell up. I said, what? He says, quit your bitching, start your own.
Fix it.
I said, Mike, it's not that easy to do. So him and I argued for about 15 minutes on it. It's not that easy to do.
I can see you guys arguing that.
Right.
I know Mike too. You know, I know he's gone now. But
yeah. So Mike and I arguing back and forth, back and forth. So I said, whatever, Mike, I got to get back to my race car. So I'm underneath the race car, and he comes up, kicks me. Hey, jackass. And he slides a piece of paper under the car. There's your mission statement.
Damn, dude.
So I slid from underneath the car. You know, we sat there and we talked, started mission statement, figured out what we had to do to nonprofit, and that's how it all got started.
That's amazing, dude. And it's, you know what it is? It's a couple of SF guys
Right.
who are comfortable with each other. He called you on it. He was like, hey, man, we can complain.
Or we can do something about it.
Or we can do something
if you
about
don't have a bitch, have a way
Yeah,
to
no,
correct
because we're Army guys, so we all bitch. We do that. That's part of it. But also, when people always ask me, hey, what's a Green Beret? You know, we got this image of, you know, Rambo dudes with knives in their mouth, which we like to have fun with. I always tell, what's an SF guy? Problem solver.
Problem solver.
And the problem was these cats weren't getting help. And the thing is, too, Mike, and maybe it takes one to know one kind of thing. I think, you know, the government, they try, and there's a lot of people who try, but we know guys in our community that I know what makes me feel important and what I miss if I don't have, and I think that this is what you're doing with these cats in Racing for Heroes.
Yeah, it's a team concept.
Yep.
You got the camaraderie.
You gotta have that.
We've got the adrenaline.
Yeah.
Yes. We've got the adrenaline.
A little bit of danger.
You got a little bit of danger.
Right.
It fills that void.
Yeah.
It really does. The guys, you know, until you get in the car and see it, you don't understand.
I get it. Yeah.
Until you get in the car, and you know, a lot of people think, well, you're crazy, Mike. How are you going to do therapy through racing? Racing's just a byproduct.
Yeah.
The cars and all that's just a byproduct, brother.
You put me in one of these the other day, and I was all of a sudden someplace else. I wasn't in a race car. I was enfolded with all of this stuff, and I felt actually like something good was going to happen.
Right.
You know, something was going to challenge me. I got to ask you this, man. I know it's kind of a personal thing. I mean, you got banged up. You got hurt pretty bad.
Yep.
Tell me about that.
A lot of my
the TBI stuff.
Right.
Too.
Most of my traumatic brain injury, and we're not sure which hit, which you know.
You're never gonna know.
You don't know. But when they did the little scan thing, and the doc said, "Hey, what's wrong with the left side of your brain?" So well, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Right. I didn't know, and I didn't find mine through what I thought was brain issues. Mine was my stomach, diverticulitis.
Is that right?
Yes. And then when he went in there, and he's like, "We got to figure out what's going on. There's no reason
for the innervation to be messed up like that." And everything is connected.
And everything is to do with the juices combined with the chemicals being released in the brain. It's a whole vicious cycle. And I was only sleeping 20 minutes, 2 hours a night. It depends what it was. You know, I'd go in and out all night, up and down, up and down, up and down.
Do that. You're going to die.
Yeah, 10:30 in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning, I'm drinking a Monster. It would run me to about 1,500, give or take. Another Monster. Boom, it'd run me to about 1,800, another Monster.
No good.
22:30, I tried to go down to bed, lay in there, toss and turn, fall asleep for a little bit off and on, up and down, up and down, up and down.
And start the whole crap the next day.
Right. The only thing it did for me is help me build the race cars, because when I couldn't sleep,
you had energy.
02 in the morning, you know, my ex-wife couldn't figure out, why are you out here welding and banging at 2:30 in the morning?
By the way,
I don't get it.
Keyword is welding and banging 2:30 in the morning, ex-wife.
Yeah.
Just kidding, man.
It may be my fault. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I got a call that too. I have one, and I got nobody to blame but me, bro. So that's the thing. So now, you got a handle on it. How does it affect what you do day to day with Racing for Heroes, man? You kind of got it managed, or what?
I've got everything pretty much managed.
Yeah.
One's cut back on the stress.
Yeah. So dude, yeah, you got banged up. It was doing all this weird stuff to you. You got a handle on. How's it managed now? Is it?
I did it all through vitamins, exercise. Getting that sunlight in the morning, getting the sunlight in the evening.
Yeah, we were talking about that before.
I'm outside all the time, you know, getting that sunlight, getting the fresh air.
Back in nature. Listen, man.
Exactly.
I think, again, it's a long conversation about the VA, because there's a lot of good people in the VA that want to do good things. I've dealt with them. They're overburdened by a lot of other things.
They're overwhelmed.
They're overwhelmed, dude. And so it's a lot easier for these guys to just kind of medicate you and go, hey, this is what you're going to take. And long term, I don't like that stuff either, man.
At the end of the day, the meds right now, and I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
But I am a numbers guy, and I can figure out the math. Public math tells me every one of my buddies that have committed suicide,
they've been on meds.
Ambient to sleep at night.
Yep.
They got them on painkillers.
Yep.
Got them on antidepressant. Normally something else for, you know, cholesterol or something that they really don't need.
That has interactions with those drugs,
and they all interact.
Yep.
And now you throw a couple shots of whiskey on top. What do you got?
And a stress situation.
A guy's
domestic problems, no work. We don't feel like, dude. We see it all the time, and so I think that's what you got here. And you know, this is going to speak to a lot of different dudes. Like I never grew up with this.
Right.
I grew up with doing other things, and there's other charities that hit guys like that. But
right.
it's like adaptive therapy. It's basically putting you into what you're supposed to be doing anyway.
Exactly.
You know, so here we got now. I got to ask you personally too, man. I mean, you were Mike Donatelli was one of your best friends.
Yes, we were close, like brothers.
Every day, every day you think about him.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah, I mean, I think about Tim McGill pretty much every day.
Every day. It's just, you know, I couldn't help it because Mike didn't sleep. He was Mike was a boxer.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Him and I used to box all the time.
Yeah, he was good though.
Very good.
He was a really good boxer. Yeah, he was a really good boxer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And him and I, you know, we'd box but Mike had, now that I know what I know, had severe traumatic brain injury.
Right.
Severe traumatic brain injury.
Some of that could have been from boxing.
Yes. Between the boxing
all the
and
charges
our
that we eat and getting banged around in vehicles.
The door charges,
how many charges do we eat?
30 a day. It depends on what we were doing.
It's crazy.
Exactly. The overpressure, just the M4s. You know, if you get an IED, goes off close to you at combat. You know, it doesn't take much. Carl Gustav, firing a 106, mortars being close to the mortar, all that overpressure. All that stuff we thought was cool.
Little things that tweak you, and like you said, man, I know with these brain injuries too, it could be a small bleed here, that scar's over. Small bleed here, now you get these pathways that are stuck in. Here you have diverticulitis. Like people think it has nothing to do with the brain. Everything's got to do with the brain.
Yes, exactly. It's the chemical releases and the timing of it,
and the interaction with everything else. Where are we right now with Racing for Heroes as far as like kind of a national level on this and awareness? Dude, I know you struggle every day to put this thing on the map. How's it going?
It's a long road.
Yeah.
I'm too dumb or too stubborn to give up, but I stay after it.
Both.
Yeah, or a combination thereof. But we got a lot of volunteers helping.
Yeah.
We're at 98% money goes back into the programs.
By the way, that's unheard of.
Right. Well, but I'm not on payroll.
No, you're doing it for free.
I'm not on payroll. Yeah, how I earn my pay is what I just did this week, training guys. That pays me,
right?
And I still do the nonprofits.
And that pays the bills.
Right.
Where do you think you want to go with this? How big do you think this can get? And does it matter? You know, or what do you think?
It doesn't matter how big it gets.
Yeah.
As long as we're being effective. And a lot of these other nonprofits are like, well, we did so many people with this and that, and it's not a drive-through flu shot.
Yeah.
We're dealing with guys with PTSD. I have one kid I've been working with for 2.5 years now. I just got him to now where he'll talk to other veterans. Drawed him out of that dark spot. These kids are coming out of Walter Reed Hospital, standing on the doorstep going, what do I do now?
What's next?
Our whole careers, we've had a ranger buddy right beside us.
Yeah, I know.
Now, these kids are coming out on the doorstep, they're being sent home by themselves, sitting in a dark house for 8 months, 6 months at a pop.
They're cut away, dude. They got nothing.
Exactly.
I mean, I think we've all been there. I've been there, and I wasn't even on the level that you were for all that time.
Right, and we bring these guys out. We're bringing them out of that darkness and bring them here, and they get to hang out with other guys, and it works. It's not a one-time gig. It's not a weekend hunt. We're not just going shooting pigs for the weekend.
No, it's not an event.
Right, it's not an event. It's an ongoing thing. So they get comms with each other. Hey, I'm headed to the shop. Hey, bro, I'll meet you there, and they work on the cars.
That's the way it
goes. Or they just come hang out and do absolutely nothing. You don't know. But then when we have the races, we just did a 24-hour race, whole team of us working together.
Oh, it must have been badass.
One of the few teams that ran all night long.
Unbelievable.
Never shut down.
You didn't shut down.
Never shut down.
You know what's great, dude? First of all, thanks. Because what I miss the most about being in SF, Special Forces, is guys like, showing up to work every day with dudes like you. I was telling people, I go, what job would you have where you can show up at your workplace and every dude in there will die for you and kill for you?
Exactly.
I mean, there isn't a lot like that. And I didn't know that about you and Mike having this conversation. So this went from you saw something was wrong,
right?
You would help fix yourself, and then your buddy goes, why are we not doing it for somebody else?
Right.
And here you are.
And I told him, I said, it's not that easy, and it's not.
No.
And of course, he got killed about 4 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
So he hasn't been here to endure the whole thing.
Yeah. But you know what, though?
I do think about him every day, and I throw a couple cuss words at him.
I was just going to say, it's like, hey, man, I'll see you. When I see you, it's going to be, you're going to box him.
Exactly. I'll see you on the flip side, brother. I got one for you.
Well, listen, I'm really honored that you guys brought me in on this. I can't wait to race. Whether I'm good or bad, I already learned something about me and how for me to be better. So I'll see you on the track.
Roger that.
All right, brother.
Thanks, bro.